war going on right now. Huge war between the Bulls and the Bears. It's a big time war. For the past couple of days, the Bears have had it. But let's not forget what was right before that. The Bulls had it. The Bulls were going strong. Then the Bulls got to a point where they lost some steam. We hit some sort of limit. There was a point at which stock market prices were no longer attractive for the Bulls. So then they didn't want to be Bulls. They kind of just wanted to be like, all right, I got my stuff. Now, if we get a little higher, now I might become a Bear. And then people start joining Team Bear. Just keep joining Team Bear, keep joining Team Bear. And then all of a sudden, the Bears take over. And then right as the Bears are starting to make their dent in the nation, in the stock market nation, some people go back to Team Bull. And they start fighting back and pushing against the Bears. What does this mean? What does this mean? I think this war, it's a bunch of hoopla, okay? I'm not participating in this war. I'm betting on the Bulls. I'm betting on the Bulls. So when the Bears have it, when the Bears have the fight, when the Bears are looking good, I'm getting my nukes ready, you know? I'm going to come in with my nukes, and I'm going to drop them. Drop them where I can, you know? Take advantage of those good prices. And that's what I was doing early this morning. You know, you guys have seen me yesterday, today, and before when the Bulls had it, I was saying, pull back, buying the T-VIX, see what happens. Maybe I'll be right, maybe I will be wrong. The Bears began to have it. I was very happy I made that move. Offloaded the T-VIX. Then the Bulls started getting their act together again and started taking the market back. And when the Bears had it early this morning, I was down nibbling. I was down in the trenches, doing my thing, laying my nukes, and it's paid off. So my point here is don't get caught on people going to Team Bear and feeling you have to be on Team Bear because everyone's going on to Team Bear. And at the same time, when everyone goes back to Team Bull, don't feel the need to go back to Team Bull, you know? Kind of be a little bit of a rebel. Have that rebel in you that sometimes you got to fight and live on your own. You know, you got to be a little bit more of a cowboy. Cowboy. You make the rules. Where are the cowboys at? Okay? Be a stock market cowboy. Be greedy when others are fearful and be fearful when others are greedy. That's a Warren Buffett quote. You know, probably the number one market rule I live by. At the end of the day, it's a war. And it's a pretty fair, well-fought war. And if you look at the chart, not just over the last week, but over the last month, it's really starting to look flat. It's, you know, a lot of volatility, but that volatility is warranted. But it's really starting to look flat. And that's honestly what I like. Right now, end of today, prices feel fair. On Monday, prices felt a little expensive. You know, I would still say they were fair, though. Yesterday when we were down, I would still say they were fair. They were not good. You know, this morning there were a couple of hot spots that I was like, all right, this price is a little too good. I'm going to buy that because it's a good price. But overall, the market seems very fair. And at the end of the day, let's remind ourselves, what are we buying? Are we buying the stock, expecting a swing? Do we want to see a swing? Personally, I don't want to see a swing, okay? I want to see a gradual increase over the course of the year, you know? I want my stock to go up 20, 30% between now and December. I don't want it to go up 10% by Friday and then come down 5% the next week so I can buy more. You know, I don't want that at the end of the day. I just want to own my stock, have my company. Maybe it pays me a dividend. You know, I just want to have the stock. I want to sit on it, have that asset, and see more people want to buy that asset. So, yes, it's nice when the market pulls back, and yes, it's nice when the market rallies, but if you're an investor, you don't give a shit. You don't give a shit, okay? You buy the market when it's underpriced. You sell the market once it's realized the value that you see. I'm not even saying buy low, sell high. Maybe, you know, a strategy I like to use is if something's seen a massive increase, you know, sometimes it's good to offload a little bit of your position so you don't be a pig and get slaughtered. But if you see more value there, keep holding on to the stock. Don't just sell on a swing. So I don't really want to get in on that in this video. It's not really relevant for today. The message for today is don't get caught in this bull-bear war. Be a stock market cowboy. Focus on what your gut tells you, what you think is a good price for a company. Don't worry about the market. Don't worry about the market. The only thing the market does is it tells you what other people think. But are you making decisions on what other people think, or are you making decisions on what you think? You should be listening to other people and exposing yourselves to other opinions, but at the end of the day, you have the final say. So listen to your gut, listen to your instinct, and trust that. My instinct told me 2 days ago we were going to see a pullback. We saw a pullback. Then my instinct told me we were going to get rid of the pullback. We've had the pullback, and we seemingly have pulled back from the pullback. So I said both of those things somewhat contrary to the market. The market was kind of looking ripe for a pullback. A lot of people were saying that we should have a pullback. Valuations were obviously inflated. I'm not going to say I'm super creative and rebellious for saying that we should have a pullback. That's not the case. A lot of people were calling for a pullback, but that's what my gut told me. A lot of people said it too, but at the end of the day, you got to listen to yourself. So trust your gut. Don't really focus on the market fluctuations. Don't get caught up in the war that's going on. Decide what you think is true. Like, I think this company, I would buy it at this level. And if it goes above that or goes below that, that's just what other people are saying. So if it goes below that, I'm happy. I will buy it below that level. And if it goes above that, I won't buy it. Or maybe, I'll just be happy as it's on the trend that I foresee it going on, There's a bunch of different ways to look at it. You got to decide how you look at it, but that's how I look at it. So as where the market's going from here, I think the volatility is going to remain. I kind of just want to prepare you for the war and get you thinking, like, I'm not really concerned about this chop. I've been saying, bet on America. Don't worry about the chop. The chop is going to happen. Why is there chop? Because there's uncertainty. When there's uncertainty, people don't know how to properly price a company. None of these companies are giving us any guidance or any sort of earning expectations. They're all pulling that. But it all depends on your market outlook, your gut instinct, what you think the future is going to look like. What I think the future is going to look like is second quarter, third quarter is going to be some sort of transitional period back to normal. Lockdowns are going to be lifted. People are going to start going. Some people are going to be scared about going out, but we're all going to go out. We're all going to return to normal life. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, I want to be worried about putting a mask on and worried about this virus. No, that's not human nature. Human nature is to forget that and to focus on the summer, the sun, and the beach, and ice cream, and bars, and all that stuff. People just want to get out and have fun and live their life like a happy person. So I think that will prevail over the course of a couple weeks, and restrictions will be lifted, and we'll get back to normal. And then I think in the fourth quarter and in next year, the stimulus is going to provide some sort of tailwind where we may see, I'm betting big on an infrastructure package to get some of these unemployed people and the shift in the economy that's been going on employed and to maximize GDP. So some of these dams and these roads hurt GDP because truckers have to drive an extra 3 miles, times the amount of trucks, times the days in the year, it's hurting GDP. And some of these boats have to take off millions of dollars worth of cargo per trip, times the amount of boats, hurts GDP. So I think Trump, big real estate guy, going to want to invest in infrastructure. Those jobs are going to come back. GDP is going to be maximized. Stimulus tailwind, back to consumer spending, strong America, new China trade deal, new Europe trade deal. In the long run, we'll be back in the, bet on America mindset. And I think there are a lot of people who have that. Team Bull seems to be pretty strong, but Team Bear starts to prevail when we get to certain levels, and the price is a little high, and the risk is still there. There's still risk. That's just what I foresee in the future. I hope that comes to fruition, but I also acknowledge that there's some risk there, although I do think that risk is mitigated, and maybe we'll talk about that in the next video. So until tomorrow, peace.